Ladies and gentlemen, the tier list update is finally here after much anticipation with the release of Valentine's Day RAM. Did I say RAM? REM, I mean, sorry. And let's just jump right into it. So, starting from the top of the list here, these are the new units added from the previous tier list. We have Elsa, young Wilhelm, Ram, Petra, and Rem. So, basically from the Elsa banner towards now. So basically from when I began the game up to where we are now. So that's kind of cool that this is basically spanning my entire play period. Let's hop right into it. As you can see, Valentine's Day Rem, God tier. We also is coming. No, absolutely no questions about it. Valentine's Day Ram is insane of a unit. First of all, by the way, this is the PvE tier list. Yes, she's the god tier in PvE, and if you know anything about this unit, is that she is mainly used for PvP. That is her main objective, and the fact that she's a god even in PvE is insane. So she's certifiedly broken. So first of all, we're gonna go. Basically, the notes here are the new characters that I just talked about. So we're gonna go through this and read. Again, PvE tier list. So let's see what they have to say. First, starting off with Elsa. Elsa is extremely useful in taking out single targets. Yes, her, I believe they call it an S2. Basically, her super attack is insane. Let's go into it a little more. With her insane crit rate, she's most likely to deal a huge amount of damage. And because of her passive, she has a good sustain. Her passive allows her to, I think, heal. If I'm not mistaken, let's go to unit translations. See if we can find Elsa. I did scroll really far back. Okay, there she is. So we have her basic physical attack, single enemy, 400% power. Well, we're gonna be talking in fully maxed out, so I'm just gonna resort to the strongest power. 400% power with 100% chance to increase attack for 2 turns. Then we have her passive landing a crit attack with her insanely high crit rate, 50%. Attack 100% chance to recover HP by 15%, so there's the lifesteal for you. 100% chance to remove 1 debuff and decrease skill cooldown by 2 turns, and 10% chance to attack again. So go back to the tier list. She has really good sustain, so she's constantly like healing herself for 15%, assuming everything's maxed out. It's really nice. She's a hard hitter. I have her on my PvP team. I absolutely adore Elsa. Mainly because she's one of my favorite characters in the game, but she's also near and dear to me because, you know, that was the banner that I started off in, so it's forever going to be like one of my first ever units that I pulled, which makes up for her low defense. Yes, she does have low defense, and if you're lucky enough, you can attack twice in the same turn. Again, if you land a critical chance, you get a 10% chance to hit again. Easily a mid S tier character. Yeah, so for PvE, she's pretty good for nuking. She's like not the best because she doesn't have really any like CC or like AoE, but if you really need like a hard hitter, I do enjoy everything about her kit, and I just like the way she plays. And if her abilities sound interesting to you, I do recommend going for her whenever she returns. Young Wilhelm. I did skip this character mainly because, you know, it's a male and I'm a simp. Excuse me, I need to drink some water. Okay, so he's SS. Didn't expect that. I don't know much about this character, so let's go into the reasoning why, because I'm curious to see. Young Wilhelm is at a SS tier for multiple reasons. He has a good LS, high attack, and insane debuffs. He can inflict recovery seal and decrease defense with just 1 ability. Something that is incredibly useful in all scenarios, but also particular for events, where every event boss most likely has regeneration ability because he has increased debuff chance. His debuffs will land most of the time. Oh, so he has increased debuff chance. We can go into his translations, just read him a little bit. His basic physical attack and a single enemy twice with 200% power with a 50% chance to increase self-attack and agility. Ooh, I like the agility. Elsa does have increased self-attack after attacking, I believe. Yeah, here it is. Attack 100% chance to increase attack for 2 turns with her basic. So sometimes, depending on the situation, you do want to attack right before you use your ultimate, or your skill 2, I should say. But this is really nice because they also boost his agility, which is, I like anything with agility. It recovers 5% of self-max HP. Okay, so 5% of max HP. That's pretty good. Physical attack a single enemy with 600% power with a 100% chance to inflict recovery seal. I'm not sure how dominant recovery seal is in PvP, but like it again, this is a PvE tier list, and I think that sounds pretty good if you ask me. And 100% chance to increase all allies' action gauge by 30%. That's pretty good. Physical attack all enemies 5 times with 140% power each. 100% chance to inflict recovery seal and decrease defense for 2 turns per hit. I agree with this. Again, I don't have this character, so I don't like have any experience with him, but yeah, he does sound pretty good for PvE. So I do agree with this SS ranking. Again, I don't have too much knowledge, but yeah, there it is. Petra. Now, when I first saw her kit, I did enjoy what she has, what she can bring to the table with my specific team. So personally, I think I would rate her like a little higher. But I think A sounds solid for her, but I really do like her personally. I do like this Petra. It's slotted at 8 tier, definitely on the higher spectrum of the event welfare units. I think this is free-to-play units. She can inflict charm, which by the way is better than stun or freeze. Yes, because no enemy has immunity to this yet. I think there some characters were like immune to stun and freeze and all that stuff, and charm is new, so it's not like a counter thing yet. And her buffs are nothing to scoff at. Yeah, she is definitely a team player. That's why I enjoy her. So we can go into her translations. I really do like this Petra, mainly because she gives what I really like. I do like fast and speed, and I've always enjoyed speed in video games, and having the ability to increase my agility is really nice. And they also have the charm, really strong. I enjoy charm, increases all allies defense and crit rate. Because I like to run Elsa a lot too, so I've been thinking about running this Petra. And action gauge is always nice. Additional 30% of buffs at max, nice. So yeah, overall just a great character, especially since she's free to play. Where are we at? This is PvP? Okay, right here. Valrem and Ram. Here we get into the really good stuff. Ram has incredibly high HP, which is complemented by her passives. Yes, she has 2 passives shoved into one, although it's less likely that her AG passive will proc in PvE. Her healing passive is incredibly useful for self-sustain, not to mention she has AoE buffs for allies. Although she's low S tier, she's definitely better than Subaru. More info on Subaru below. Yes, we talk about like the changes to existing characters down here under the new characters, so we'll get to that shortly. Yeah, Valram is absolutely a great tank. She's such high sustain, great character overall. It's unfortunate that I can't tell more people to like summon for her, because she came out right before Ram, and yeah, you definitely want to be sending all your gems on Ram. So I do recommend at least 1 copy, but if you are struggling, I would recommend pouring all of your gems into Ram first to at least guarantee a copy. Then maybe you can decide if you want to go on Ram from there. But I do recommend getting copies of Ram first before you decide about Ram. So yeah, let's hop into Ram. Ram is just built different. Absolutely correct. No other way to explain it. Her S2 is an AoE charm. Again, insane. With the addition of 2 damage over times. Yeah, so this kind of like does some beefy damage if you like stack these. If you're running Vel Ram, I think it is with normal Ram. I don't know my units too good, but I know when I'm in PvP, I'm doing tons of DOT damage. After they get stun locked. If you put her as a leader, her LS essentially means you're hitting every debuff. Yeah, her leader again is 50% debuff chance for Amelia camp allies. If you're new to the game and you are in the Discord, we have the camps, which is basically like, you know, the categories down here at the bottom of the unit. So if you need specific unit. You can come in here and say, I need Petra. Just click on Petra. It'll take you to this channel. What kind of camp she have? She's Amelia. So she will work with Rem. Just, super... the Discord's great. I've said that many times. We all know how great the Discord is. So if you want to know what Amelia camp means, then there you go. So hitting every debuff with a plethora of high tier Amelia camp units. Yeah, Amelia camp units have been, it seems like they've been dominating the meta for a while now. Excuse me, I had a burp. It's not too difficult to build an all Amelia camp team. Additionally, she has invincibility. Yes, her skill 1, I believe, has invincibility, which basically means you're invincible. You can't get debuffed. You can't get hit, I believe. That helps her stay in battle longer, which makes up for a lack of HP and defense. We made a separate tier just for her because she was just that good. 100%, I do agree. God tier, absolutely incredible unit. I do recommend, there's no really certain ways to build units, but for this unit, I do recommend full speed and just keep pumping those charms and invincibilities, and your Rem is basically untouchable. Let me see right here. Frederica Felice. Wow. What is Priscilla sitting at? She's SS. Okay, yeah. She's a hard counter to Rem. But if you keep stone locking her, she can't do anything. Okay, so we have the older characters that are getting revisions. Ricardo's being bumped down from S to B. Subaru's being bumped down from SS to S. And then Anastasia's being bumped up from B to A+. So let's read why. His leader skill, although useful in normal PvE dungeons, does not work with limited time event dungeons. Wow, I didn't know that. We are not sure if this is a bug or feature, but because of his development, we lowered his ranking. Interesting. So, leader skill. Let's check out what it is. Allies, story, attack, 35%. Story. Wow, so this only works in, stories? Is that what that is? That's kind of weird. He's very specific. PvE dungeons. Okay, so PvE dungeons, I think the EXP, the fragment dungeons, the gold dungeon, I think that stuff still works. But, not the chocolate event that just came out that I've done videos on. Wow, interesting. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on to see if this is a bug. But if you have Ricardo and you use his leader skill, make sure you're only using it in the dungeons, not the actual special events that come in, the pink little tab. Okay, Subaru. Yes, Subaru is an all-around great or good unit, especially with his LS. Yes, his LS is just a regular attack boost, so you definitely would want him for at least one copy. But there's no way he's better than Val Ram. Furthermore, his LS can be found with other units like Reinhardt and young Wilhelm. Okay, so these guys also have his same leader skill, or somewhat the same. Still a solid free-to-play option, though, if you don't have any units with an attack leader skill. Yeah, I definitely agree. Everyone, as soon as Ram came out, everyone was just saying she was a better Subaru, and I can see why this is happening. Oops. Okay, Anastasia, B to A. Her ability to remove all buffs from enemies and remove all debuffs on allies is insanely strong, especially in limited time dungeons where the boss has literally 6 buffs on themselves. Okay, yeah, I like this ability. I think, yeah, this is pretty good. It removes all debuffs on allies. That's all buffs from enemies too. Yeah, I think this is especially, dominant in the chocolate event. I think it says, especially in limited time event dungeons where the boss literally, yeah. He's referring to the chocolate event, I think. So yeah, she's really great there. So she's now A tier, I believe, or is she A+? A+, okay. Yeah, solid change. I agree with it. Now we get into the juicy stuff, the PvP tier lists. Again, we're gonna see the dominance of Rem. That's just the way it's gonna be. So again, back to the top with Elsa. She is a S tier. What was she in the PvE? S tier again. Okay, cool. While low in HP and defense, can take out a weaker unit with a high crit rate. She also anti-yellow Amelia. Do we have names for these attributes? I'm not too sure. She's an anti-yellow. Yeah, every time I see a yellow Amelia, I'm just no, I know I can kill with my Elsa. It's such a free, easy kill. Who is prevalent in unit because she's practically a free-to-play unit. She's currently the fastest unit without any modifications. Okay, so this is talking about without hammers, I think, and memories. So yeah, there's that. She's the fastest unit. So you'll be able to, you'll almost be able. So you'll almost be guaranteed to land the first hit when you have her on your team. Yeah, Elsa's pretty damn fast. Yeah, so this is good. I do notice that my Elsa gets tossed around a bit whenever she does get hit, but I do have Valram to just stun lock the entire team. So if they ever do manage to get out of it, it is kind of rough, but again, Elsa has self-sustain, and Valram or Rem is just insane. So you could just constantly, charm the enemy and then hit them with the lifesteal, and you'll be fine. So I do enjoy Elsa on the team. I know I could build a better team in PvP, but again, I love Elsa. Young Wilhelm is at who's SS for PvP as well. Really? Because every time I beat him, he's never a problem for me. I don't know, maybe because I just don't let him ult. He's ulted a couple times, and this has been, I guess, okay, let's see what they say before I say anything. He's just an all-around really useful unit to have. His insane attack stat, second highest in the game. Okay, that's insane. Didn't know that. Coupled with his high debuff chance, is going to dominate the battle. He makes Red Priscilla's leader skill look useless. Additionally, his S1 gives the agility boost again is really dope, or action gauge boost. This is really good for like speeding up the process with your abilities, or I think that's what that is. Which is also nice to have. Definitely an anti-heal unit, yeah, because you recover your seals, especially useful for taking out teams. The leaders with Felix and Felix? Is that he's trying to say Felix? I don't know. And Priscilla. His AoE defense debuff is extremely useful, and when paired with an AoE attack, just like Julia's S2 or Amelia's S2. Yeah, for sure. It's kind of weird that he has such a strong attack, and like his AoE feels like he's like setting up for someone else, like his ultimate, he's setting up for someone else. I don't know, maybe someone will come out and push this guy over the edge to god tier. I could see that happening. Maybe like another knight unit, and there'd be like a knight team. I don't know if he's a knight himself. Let's go and check real quick. Let's see if I can just find him really quick. He is a human. Okay, just another human then. But maybe that can be a possibility. I can definitely see that happening. Okay, so now we have Petra. Pretty useless in PvP, although she can inflict charm. She can't give decent buffs. She's outclassed, but yeah. So she's B tier for bootleg. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Again, she is a free-to-play unit, so you can't do too much with her. But I still love her in PvE. Maybe I'll try her sometime in PvP when I have enough resources to max out units that I really don't need. But currently, I'm just trying to work on units that I know for sure are good. So maybe one day. We have Valram again, SS tier. Is without a doubt SS tier. She's incredibly difficult to take down if you don't. Yeah, she has really good sustain. If you cannot inflict recovery still, her taunt and charm are useful here, as it can essentially prevent enemies from doing anything to her. Her passive, which halves the amount of AG enemies can gain from abilities, is great here, and can consider to be anti-blue Amelia as well. If you invest in defense and HP hammers for her, she'll be even harder to kill. Personally, I think she can be a great defense unit for PvP. Her sustain is way too good. All the heavy hitters like Mimi and Julius could pose a problem. Yeah, so I've noticed she does get hit kind of hard sometimes, although I don't have her fairly built. These units have been a problem for me with her in the past, but again, just Valram, just stun them. If you're having a problem with that unit, just stun them. It's that simple. All right, Valram. The reason you guys are even looking at this tier list, exactly. Everyone wanted to know when the new tier list was coming out, but when Valram was announced, everyone definitely wanted to see this tier list. Everyone and their mothers. So here we are. Valram is absolutely disgusting. She broke the current meta. She literally is the new meta now. Everything changed because of her. If you do not have Valram, I highly, highly recommend you try and get her before her banner disappears. 100% agree. Again, get at least one copy of RAM and then decide whether you want more RAM or you want more RAM. 100% I would want both copies of one, or I would want one of both, and then I would go all in on RAM, which is exactly what I'm doing. I did get a little lucky with more RAMs, and I think I have like 2 or 3 or something like that, but I definitely am doing everything in my power to get more gems for RAM. And I suggest anyone playing, anyone new to the game, you could just go ahead and reroll for RAM. Super worth it. She looks like she's going to be a long-lasting unit, and her kit is just absolutely insane right now. She's without a doubt currently the best unit in the game. If you slap on a max idle Memoria, yeah. So the new Memoria, I call them memories because it's easier to pronounce for me. The new memory is insane with her. You get, I believe it's 19 agility plus the 4th evolution, which gives you like a passive. If characters are made at the beginning of the battle, there's a 100% chance that will increase your action gauge by 50%. Really good for rushing those attacks and ultimates. So yeah, so you want to slap down on her. She's where was I? Her compatibility with other Amelia camp units is really high because of her leader skill. Again, her leader skill is 50% debuff chance to Amelia camp units. She uses her S2 ones, and it's already game over for the enemy team. Yeah, if your RAM goes first, which mine does, it's basically game over. You stun lock the entire team almost every single time, and you just pick your opponent's team apart from there. So again, RAM OP. As you see right there, God tier. Just look at this SS tier. Amelia camp, Amelia camp, Amelia camp, Amelia camp, Amelia camp. More than 50% of these units are Amelia camp. And you have a God tier unit as a leader skill for all of them. That just shows you how powerful this unit is and why you need her on your roster. So that's about it for everything new. Again, we have the PvP. We have these old characters. Let's see what they do real quick. So we have Frederica. I did enjoy Frederica as a unit. Or I just really like Frederica. It kind of sucks to see her fall down, but she is kind of useless, and we'll see why. She used to be a really prevalent unit, especially in the higher ranks of PvP, but she's simply outclassed now with the addition of the latest units. Again, Frederica, I believe she's just a stunner. She had a really a good kit, but I think with the new units, it definitely is just outclassed in every way. There's no point. You get a taunt with your basic. Oh, I thought I was gonna burp. 100% chance to inflict taunt. When attacked, 100% chance to increase action gauge by 30% per hit. That's pretty neat, but again, like this is just like being dated. Like she's just being outclassed at this point. A single enemy 3 times with 30% or 3% power per hit. 100% chance to inflict a taunt for 2 turns. Increase all cooldown by 1 turn. 100% chance to increase self defense for 2 turns. Again, it's like why taunts single target when you can AoE stun, or charm. So again, it's not that she's getting worse, it's just the units are getting better. Again, we have Felix. He's been moved. He's seen more teams recently because of his skill set and compatibility with higher tier units. His ability to remove debuffs and inflict recovery seal makes him really useful in PvP. The cooldown for his S1 is only 3 turns when maxed. Okay, so interesting. He's moved up to SS tier. There he is. I don't have this Felix, and I don't see much of him. Every time I do see him, I know he just heals a bit, but maybe these guys are right. I don't have an experience with him, so I wouldn't know. Then we have Hetero with SS moving down to S. Here he is. I don't think I've used this guy either. He's pretty decent unit, but he's outclassed now. Okay, it might just be the same story with Frederica then. You know, same unit, pretty decent, but you know, new units are just coming out, and they just can't keep up. She's essentially a worse version of Felix, so she's gained more value in PvP. So she has gained. Oh, okay. So made Petra. Okay, so she's like a bootleg version of Felix. So if Felix has seen a raise, so is she. Okay, so made Petra is also getting a bump up. Okay, so this is the final you know, look at the tier list. You know, again, definitely go for Valrem. If you have any gems left, go for Ram, dude. Yep. Again, thank you to the Discord for doing this. I believe they had like a group discussion about this, and I love the effort they really put in to help the community and to help the game. It's really dope, and I appreciate all the work that they put in. Again, link in the description to the Discord. And thanks for watching.